Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, July 3rd, 2018. Quickly, trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. I hope you had a great long weekend. If you're Canadian, it was our Canada Day long weekend. So it was a holiday yesterday, and it's also a holiday shortened week in the US this week with the markets closing early today. It's Memorial Day tomorrow. The markets will be closed all day tomorrow as well. So good to know. But with that, let's get into today's video. If you know me, you know I always start my videos off with a look at the Russell Index. I use the Russell as my simple proxy for the markets overall, and for that I look at the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000, and I like to step back and take a look at it on the bigger picture 5-year monthly time frame. So we now have the candle for the month of June complete. As you can see, it ran into some price exhaustion and it came in through the back half of the month, creating this long wick. But here we are so far for the month of July. Will this just be consolidation and a move higher? We will see. But always good to see that point of reference on the monthly time frame. So I'm going to put my drawings back in. And as I always say, this black line is the most important line for me, this black diagonal, because it held price in from the beginning of 2017. And then price was able to break out, but it fell below earlier this year. This is the candle for February, and it wasn't able to close above for several months, but the month of May was bullish, bringing us back up and over. Here's June, and there's July. So the pink line is short-term support resistance, and we're kind of ignoring these for now, medium and longer term. So we're just kind of focusing in this area right here. So I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly, and we've had a little bit of softness come into the market. So there's our short-term area of support. I use this blue line as my guide, which is the 8-day EMA, the blue line. We had some positive price action yesterday that pulled us up and over the blue on the weekly. But I'm going to swap it back over to the daily. You can see on the daily we're still below the blue 8-day EMA. So my rules are I'm not adding new names to my watch list when price is below the blue 8-day EMA on the daily chart. I like to see it up and over on both the daily and the weekly. So I'm not going to put a new chart forward this morning, but I will flag for you. I'm going to go over a couple of the charts we looked at last week, and I'm going to flag for you a couple that might be interesting today should that price strength come back into the market. So with price on the Russell trading below the 8-day EMA, I'm not going to put any new names forward for our watch list, meaning I'm not going to do the full-blown check the boxes full analysis of a new watch list pick, but I will refer you to a handful of old Chart of the Day Cafe picks to keep an eye on in this area. Should the price strength return, they look pretty interesting to me. We talked about this one in last Thursday's video, APO, Financial Management Space Company. First featured it as a Chart of the Day Cafe pick here in November of 2017. Had a nice run from there. It was consolidating last week, and look, boom. So I hope you were watching APO. Did very well. The next one I'm going to refeature again, like I did on Thursday, is BP. It hasn't lifted yet, but should the markets start to recover here and show some strength, I think BP is an interesting one to look at. And as a reminder, BP, I'm going to go back to the 2-year weekly chart. It was a Chart of the Day Cafe featured chart here, green circle day in early 2017. In this area here, as it was bouncing off support, and I'm putting it forward again in this area here. So I'm going to move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 6-month daily. I had a little green circle on it, so it's all about, I know everyone has their own way of doing things, but mine is price moving up and over that blue 8-day EMA and getting a 3 and 8 cross. So I look for the 3 moving up and over the blue. So haven't got that yet on BP, but monitoring it for sure. As a reminder on the scores, we talked about this one again on Thursday. Beautiful value score, forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 21%, current PE of 16.09, and a dividend yield of 5.31%. Love the dividend. So I'm going to go back to a plain chart, and MEOH was one that we talked about on Thursday. Still looks good to me. It was a chart of the day cafe featured chart somewhere in here, so it's a very new addition to our watch list. It has moved up and over the blue 8-day EMA. It has moved into the green circle. Volumes coming in, keeping an eye on MEOH here. And then finally, Google. So Google was a chart of the day cafe pick back here, green circle day. We've featured it before, 2015, yeah, we featured it in this area here. I featured it more recently here. I'm going to move it away to the closer time frame. It had that nice lift off this area, and Google looks to be teeing up again in this area here. So a move up and over the 8-day EMA and into this area would be interesting for Google, and still has a really nice high value score. Forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 17%, does not pay a dividend, and currently has a PE of 26.32. So there's a handful to keep an eye on in the days ahead. Enjoy your holiday shortened week if you're in the US, and the next video goes out on Thursday. Thanks for watching.